What's good? It's your boy Fannon. Welcome back to the channel, good people. What's good? What's good? What's good? Yes, sir. Good morning, Harold Jones, Maurice McElroy, man. Forgive me, man. What's going on, McGregor Boxing Stars? Macadon, what it do? Top of the morning, Bracy One. How are you, sir? Yes, sir. We're about to just have this good boxing talk this morning, man. What it do, Tony Snowflakes? Sir Cryptomus to you. Roughhouse Boxing said, make him say, for nine to nine to nine. You crazy, man. What's good, man? What's good? Cool. We got 33 people in the building right now, 16 likes starting it off, man. Cool Key, what's good, man? V versus 1 loose stones. McGregor Boxing Talk. He said, what? What's this? What's he said? Oh, say out here ducking me. Nah, man. Nah, man. Man, I don't know what's going on with you cats, man. I got a lot of people trying to crawl up the collar, man, trying to start fights with me, man. Yesterday was big. Everybody, what I do? What did I do to people, man? I ain't trying to hurt nobody's feelings, man. I'm just being me. Come on, man. What's going on, Trey Howard? What's going on? What's going on, Marlon Sims, man? Definitely support my man, Marlon Sims, man. What's good? My man is a young, upcoming boxer. If you are not subscribed to Marlon Sims, man, please subscribe to Marlon Sims and let him know, give him that good encouragement while he's trying to get that work in, trying to build that record. I think you 4-0 right now, 3-0, 4-0. Forgive me for not remembering off the top of my head, man, but definitely got to support the professional boxers that come by the channel and promote themselves. If you guys are out there and know anybody is professional boxer, jump out here and support, and support your guy, man. Let them know where they can see you fight, man. Roderick Brodnack said, you're a smooth dude, Fannon. Hey, Fannon, you're a smooth dude. I appreciate that, man. I try, not as good as some, not as whack as others, but we just keep it rolling, man. We keep it rolling. What's going on, Carl Burrell Sports TV, man? How you feeling? All right, man. So let's get into this, man. I wanted to talk today about HBO boxing. Two things. One is Shawn Porter jumping Eddie Hearn. Man, look, everybody has a bunch of reports about it. I'll probably do a video earlier today, man. Oh, Gravy Davis said, what's up, Fannon? I peeped you last night on the second half of Smoke City. Yeah, man, I wanted to come by. I hadn't been on Smoke City. I can't do Smoke City as much as I want to do it because, I got kids, man. I got kids. My son specifically, I got to do stuff in the evening with him, homework, stuff like that, man. So I got to prioritize it. But, I like to try to go to other cats' live streams, man. Like, I like to participate in live streams and on people's channels. I just listened to a live stream the other day with McGregor Boxing Stars. I checked my man McGregor Boxing Stars out. I checked out Corey Lee Boxing the other day, man. And I want to go, like I said, man, I appreciate cats doing super chats to the channel and people who really support the LDBC. So what I'll try to do is I try to ration a portion of the revenue that comes from the channel to make sure that I get around to some of the other cats that are coming up. That are also coming up because shit, I'm coming up too. Shit, my channel ain't that old. So I try to go around, man, get involved in the conversations, pass some of the super chats from my channel to other channels just so cats can have the encouragement to continue to have these conversations, man. Because I think it's real important, man, that we lock down this boxing talk thing on YouTube and otherwise, man. So I appreciate you guys coming. KP Boxing and MMA say salute for Nine the Don. I appreciate you, sir. Thank you. So, but look, man, Shawn Porter going to goodbye. Goodbye. Shit. He said announcement on LDBC support coming soon. That's what's up. Cool. For McGregor Boxing, we still got to work on our deal. Yes, sir. If that's what you're talking about. Yeah, man. If Shawn Porter jumps over there, good for him, man. Good for him. Shit, man. At this point in time, man, if Shawn Porter I don't really care what channel you fight on. If you talking about unifications and they can be made, I'm okay with it. If somebody, our deal, yes, sir, McGregor Boxing Stars, that's what's up. We're gonna make it hot soon. Big Snack Pack says smash the like button, cuz yes, sir. We got 75 people in the hat. Let's make it hot. All right, so I wanted to talk about Shawn Porter. So Shawn Porter, man, what's good, Rob Barnes? I'm chilling, man. Look, man, Shawn Porter can go wherever Shawn Porter want to go. I don't care, man. He's a second tier welterweight. And if he's gonna kidnap the WBC belt and go over there to fight with his own man, then so be it. You know, what can I do, man? What can I do about it? But I don't necessarily know just because Eddie Hearn made that is saying he's making an offer that means he's going to actually do it, because he's making an offer for everybody. And what has been typically happening is that what I think is happening is that they're using the offer from Eddie Hearn to make somebody else up their pay, which, is not a bad technique. People do that shit a lot of times, man. People do a lot of times, like, oh man, he offered me this, so I need you to match because I really love to stay with you, but you got to match. So I wouldn't be surprised if he was doing that. But if he goes, we'll see, man. But honestly, I just want to see unification, man. I want to not just unification. Fuck unification. I just want to see one champion in a division, and anybody that's actively trying to push to get with another fighter that's got a belt, I'm okay with. So Shawn Porter, I also heard another thing. Somebody can tell me if you guys have heard it, man. That Bob Arum is trying to make a push to get Shawn Porter. Now, if Bob Arum is trying to push to get Shawn Porter to face Terrence Crawford, then that to me makes a situation kind of suspect. That's more of a suspect situation. What's going on Underrated Darkness? That's Eddie Hearn says he's going to sign Spence, Wilder, Charlos, AB, Mikey, signs Vargas and Romain. Yeah, pretty much. He's going to say that he's going to do anything. The thing that's more interesting to me is the Top Rank one, because if he goes to top, if they make a big offer to Shawn Porter to go to ESPN, why not Errol Spence? Why not Errol Spence? Why ain't they trying? Because I know that, first of all, when Bob Arum came out snapping on Errol Spence and how Errol Spence is making excuses. Nah, my memory's better than that, Bob. My memory's better than that, Bob. You were talking about the Errol Spence Terrence Crawford fight last year, and you said it wouldn't happen until Errol Spence Jr. had a promoter. That's what Bob Arum said last year. This is Bob Arum of I was lying yesterday, today I'm telling the truth. So he can jump out there and say how he'd be willing to make that fight, and Bob and Terrence Errol Spence Jr. is making excuses. But I really think, man, is you just trying to take advantage of what might be a PR snafu, or what you perceive to be a PR snafu on the side of Errol Spence. Because I definitely remember him saying that he didn't want that fight for Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence until Errol Spence Jr. had a promoter and somebody that could sell him. And, Bob wants to sign him, dog. So unless ESPN really pushes it, that's whatever. But if he's willing to try to push hard for Shawn Porter, that's because he thinks he can get his hands on that belt. And that's one thing, man. That's the only one thing that I will say. What's good on the legend? How you feeling, man? And I always talk about how Top Rank only does these in-house fights. And that's not that they prefer in-house fights. Absolutely, they prefer in-house fights, but they're willing to do fights and coordinate on fights. But when they really like to do it is when they know that they can win. If their matchmakers believe that it's I don't know, whatever percentage, I just assign a percentage to it. Like if they got a 70-30 chance or an 80-20 chance of winning that fight, they'll do it because they believe that they're going to win the fight. Exactly. While when it's in their favor, they will do it. But if they think it's even money or they're an underdog, they're not going to do it. Except now, how long did it take for that Manny Pacquiao Floyd Mayweather fight to happen? He had to get knocked. They had to cash in before they made that fight. And probably Manny Pacquiao really, really pushing to get the fight, man. So anyway, man, that's just the killer, man. So anybody let me know if you guys got any question. Oh, Quantum Renaissance, is Porter getting slick or what? I mean, he's going to try to make his money. I mean, that's what he's going to do. And that's cool. I understand. I mean, let me put it this way. It's cool from the standpoint that I understand what he's doing. And that's what he's supposed to. I mean, that is what you're supposed to do, is trying to maximize profits for yourself. That's reasonable. It's reasonable for him to do it. Just like it's reasonable for an employer to try to talk you down off your salary and ask you to take a salary deduction or pay you less than what you're worth. It's reasonable for them to do it because it's in their benefit. It's also reasonable for you to say, no, I'm not interested in that. and not do it. You know what I mean? So I'm a fan. And what I want to know is I watch boxing so that I can know who the best fighter is. That's maybe like one step after the Best Fight the Best. Shout out to Best Fight the Best boxing channel. If you're not subscribed, subscribe, like, hit the bell icon for my man, Best Fights the Best, BFTB Boxing. But one step further from the Best Fights the Best is who is the best. Because once the best fights the best, you know who the best is. And that's the end of the question. And after that happens, you get to see somebody continue to prove that they're the best. But we don't have that. We don't have that in boxing right now. What we have right now is a system designed to take the money out of the pockets of fight fans. And the promoters and the boxers debating with each other about who's going to get the biggest cut of our money. Gravy Davy in the super chat. What's good, man? Much love in the super chat. He said, what I admired was you didn't cast allegations on Lil Brothers Bronner, Tank, and Spence. I guess it was a lawyer in you, but dropping knowledge on substance abuse. Look, man, I'll give you my opinion on that, Gravy Davy. And just to give people the what it was about. People are asking about how those guys were acting and running around being silly and all of that, man. And my take on that, man, is that shit, man. We're all kids, man. They're kids, and I have gotten on cats about things like getting arrested, right? And Adrian Bronner punching some dude in the side of the head, Tank Davis getting in the fight leading up into Fonseca. Those are things where, those are dangerous things. But kids going around just being kids, and at 28 years old, man, to me, you're a kid. Drinking and, just being silly, and Robert Easter being silly and getting in, asking a bunch of questions during the press conference and stuff. I mean, man, those kids, they look like they were having fun. Those guys are, they work hard. They deserve to be happy, man. And honestly, man, I would rather watch those cats act silly than I would Dan Rayfield asking some bullshit ass questions, because that's what was going on in the press conference from my point of view. You know what I mean? But these kids, you will grow up one way or the other. You know what I mean? You will grow up one way or the other. And it's just, it's tough, man. It's tough, man. It's tough being young. It really is. I mean, people that have gone through the process of growing old, man, it's you're not done growing when you stop getting tall. You know what I mean? Just because you full height and full size does not mean that you have matured that you've gone all the way through your maturation process. And if we point that out about them, that's cool. But this the playing around, being silly, being goofy, all that stuff. I mean, I don't really see any issue with all of that shit that they were doing. If they were punching people in the face, that would be something else. You know what I mean? If they were doing shit like this, that whatever the Cuban prospect just did, driving around, got in a car accident, killed somebody, then it'd be like, look, man, you really walking on some dangerous, you treading on some dangerous territory right there, man. PK, but hey, man, Gravy Davy, man, I appreciate that, man. And yeah, substance abuse is a bitch, man. We gotta grow, man. The thing is, you've got to, for the young people out there listening to this, I promise you, every day that you live your life, you will have a challenge. Every day of your life, you have a challenge. I am over 40 years old, man. I'm not 50, but I'm over 40. And every day of my life, man, there's been a choice that I've had to make about what I was going to do today. How am I going to handle this problem? Right? What am I going to do? And you have to, but if you do not learn how to solve your problems and attack problems and solve them in a way that where you solve your problem in a way that it doesn't create more problems for you, you will just continue to hover in the same place forever. And that's when you start drinking to hide your problems, you start smoking to hide your problems. When you start thinking shit like, damn, man, I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do. This shit is, my wife is nagging me, or whatever. I don't have money to pay my child support. Man, I just can't handle this. I'm about to go run. Man, I'm just gonna go buy some weed. And I'm gonna smoke up, I'm gonna play some video games. Dude, smoking up, playing video games when that shit's on your shoulder and your subconscious, man, you're gonna have to deal with that problem. That problem ain't go nowhere. And until you start focusing on your problems, you're not going to grow, and you won't learn how to deal with your problems. It'll be like sitting down. Like you want to get in better shape by sitting down. It's not going to work. You got to get up. You got to get out and run. And eventually, if you run enough, you'll learn how to run. Like a mile will be short, then 2 miles will become short, then 3 miles will become short, and eventually you'll be able to run a marathon. But if all you do is sit up there, smoke and drink, and hoping that your lungs are going to open up, and hoping that you're going to get your heart rate, that you're going to be healthy, it'll never happen. And that's physical, but it also happens with mental maturation as well. Anyway, man. So hey, I appreciate that comment, Gravy Davy. Brian said it gets like that sometimes, man. It gets like that sometimes. It does. There's a lot of cats. I mean, I'm not above doing it, but we just try to keep rolling. We just got to keep trying to roll, man. You know what I mean? What's going on, Corey Lee Boxing? Subscribe to Corey Lee Boxing, man. Good people. But Usyk's juicing. Okay. He said, faith without action is worthless, man. You got to make it happen, man. You know what I mean? He said, Almighty 703 said, facts, for now, you ain't lying, man. Yep, just keep on trying to grind, man, and you're going to fail. That's just how it works, man. You're going to fail. But if you keep trying, you keep rolling, over time, man, if it's meant to be for you, it can't just be meant for you. You got to have the purpose of trying to make that happen. Some things might prevent it. It might not be for you, but you got to just keep on going, man. And these kids will keep going. You know what I mean? Just like the PBC. People have been saying the PBC gonna fail forever, man. PK Boxing MMA say you gotta get out and face your fears. You can't create courage in a vacuum. Yeah, man. And see, here's the other thing. I like my Game of Thrones quotes. There is no courage without fear. There is no courage without fear. If you are not afraid of something, it takes no courage to do it. If I ask you, will you go pour a glass of water for yourself and come back? If it's nothing, you grab a cup, go get a glass of water and come back. That takes no courage. But I ask you, if you are a marginal swimmer, go swim 15 feet out. Trust me, you know how to swim. You've trained enough. Go swim 15 feet out, turn around and swim back. McGregor said, you know nothing, Fannon Snow. Exactly. That takes courage, man. That takes courage because you're overcoming your fear. That's what courage is, overcoming fear. So people that say boxers have no fear, I have a hard time believing that. If you have no fear, then you're not fighting anybody that's a challenge. You've got to be. You have to be. You have to be. Or you're not, or what you're doing is not courageous. You're just going through the motions and you're just so overmatched that there's nothing to worry about. You know what I mean? Braylon Thomas said, never heard that. Thanks, Fannon. Hey, man, my pleasure. My pleasure. Share with me, too. You know what I mean? Share with me. Mr. Gillian says, salute, Fannon. What time does your live stream start so I can catch you from the beginning? I go on right after Trail Bison Talk. I send I'm going to start sending out my my time reminders. Like I'm going to send it out that morning, maybe in the middle of Trail Bison Talk. And then it'll probably come on like 10 minutes after because I'm starting to get a feel for when Black Fight Fan TV is over with. And when they usually start around 8:30, they go to about well, sometimes they start at 8:30, sometimes they start at 8:45. It kind of varies. So around 10:15, I'm trying to aim for around 10:15, something like that every morning. Just to have good talks, man. Underrated Darkness. Young people listen to this. Y'all have to have greater self-purpose in your life. Never give up. I grind and I'm going to keep on going to get knocked down, to get back up and get up. Yeah. That is, and don't let somebody take you. Don't let somebody stick a fucking don't let somebody stick a pacifier in your mouth, man. Sometimes, man, like with weed, this is what I had to do to understand like what I was doing when I was smoking weed. Like I was. Like other people, it's not the same. Some people can smoke weed, they'll be done with it, they can sit it in a glass and come back to it in 3 weeks. I'm not tripping on that, but for me, I had to visualize those things like a pacifier. Like when I put it in my mouth, I'm pretty much sucking on a pacifier. I was being a baby because I had these issues. Like I was very, very ambitious, very, very ambitious. And there were a lot of people around me that were very, very successful. And I felt like I had to keep up with people. And then I had to also rely on people. So relying on people and having to keep up with people made me feel as if I never had any control. And when I would have money problems or I would have, whatever type of fear I would have, I would just be like, you know what, just roll it up, turn on my Cypress Hill and but then eventually, man, I started realizing, look, man, and pretty much I had almost lost everything. I almost lost my wife. I almost lost my kids. I had like 3 houses, shit. I was about to lose them. And shit was just terrible, 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 man. And I was like, found myself just in a position where I felt like I was going to lose everything. And so when you hit rock bottom, you got to be like, nah, there's something that's going on with me. This weed is not going to fix it. And this is not their fault. This is my fault. I've got to fix me. And then you fix then you're like, and the first thing I had to do was I can't keep sucking on that pacifier. So I stopped sucking on that pacifier. Then after I stopped sucking on that pacifier, I started to grow up. And I started taking responsibility for even little things, little things like dishes in the sink, socks on the floor, not just thinking, man, I got to make $1 million. I got to make $1 million. I got to get this. My goal, I want to make $500,000 a year. That was my thing. Cause I go to these dudes who are making $500,000 a year and complaining about it. And I'm like, shit, I ain't making $500,000 a year. I want to make $500,000 a year. I got to sell this. I got to do this. Man, I'm happier now than I've ever been because I know what I can do. And I know if something happens that I can cope with it. If I lose a customer, I can cope with it. If somebody starts, somebody tries to do me wrong at work, I know I can cope with it. But I don't know sometimes, even if you're when you're younger, a lot of people don't really know if they can cope with it. But if you practice coping with it, then eventually you'll be able to cope with it. You know what I mean? But that's just my thought, man. From weed, yeah, man, absolutely. But see, you gotta understand, man. It's just something's not for everybody, man. Oh yeah, you from Denver, yeah. But see, that's something for somebody else. I don't want this conversation to do this the whole time, man. But look, that everybody has their own thing. You know what I mean? Everybody has their own thing. I don't know. Some people have their own thing. Some people have steroids as their thing. You guys see these people that lift weights. They ain't got no money off of it, but somehow, man, they looking like they look crazy. And it's clear that working out, lifting weights, some people working is it. You know what I mean? It's just whatever your coping mechanism is, that's preventing you from solving your life problems, then you're going to have some type of issue. You know what I mean? The dog says, my kids make me tighten, but not me, not about me anymore. Lead by example and understand nobody's perfect. Yeah. Antonio Mendoza said, weed ain't for me. Things affect people differently. It does. Yeah, Don Banks says, Kovalev was Smirnoff. Yeah, no doubt about it, dog. And see, that's a perfect example in boxing. He couldn't believe he had a hard time believing, from what I can see, outside looking in. He had a hard, you're right, to each his own, bro. Yeah, man, it's everybody else's, dudes. My mother would say that. My mother's like, that's some people that doesn't bother. It doesn't bother some people, it's just not, everybody's got their own thing, man. You know what I mean? There are some things, though, that are universal. You know what I mean? Like crack, okay? Some shit like methamphetamines. That shit is just out there bad. You doing that shit, dog, you're in trouble. Okay, I'm sorry. You doing that, you're in trouble. But not drinking. Some people can drink. I can drink and then just stop drinking because it's not something that doesn't do that to me. You know what I mean? Some people start drinking, they can't do it. Hey, Dante Watkins, man, much love in the super chat, man. Much love in the super chat. But it's anyway, man. It's just what it is, man. I want to get onto this HBO. Crack is whack. Mine was Everclear. Oh yeah, Everclear is heavy. Hey, I got a lot of girls off that Everclear though. I ain't gonna lie, dog. But I drop that in a second. You can make anything. Oh, PK boxing, MMA. You can make anything into a drug if you're hurting inside. Absolutely, man. No doubt about it, man. But I'm not judging anybody. Like I said, man, I'm not trying to act as if I got some perfect life and that I've lived a perfect life. I haven't. You know what I'm saying? Junk food, alcohol, stress, no joke. Yeah, man. I'm not, I'm not trying to say that. I am not holier than thou, Holmes. But you ain't beat me in no debate, Corey Lee. I got problems. That ain't one, dog. That ain't one. Oh, Jameson whiskey. Oh, yeah. Fill that void. Yeah, man, but we'll make it. Here's the thing, man. We'll make it. We'll make it. Just got to keep going. Got to make it, man. You know what I'm saying? Got to make it. But look, man, I want to jump on, man. HBO boxing. Canelo Alvarez is talking about leaving HBO, man. Like, look, man, y'all are. I would not be surprised at all. Where is he going to go, dog? Oh, wow. Fannon, Cisco in the early 90s at HU. Yeah, dude, I was actually there. Yeah, y'all cats was knocking out some damn Cisco, dog. That shit is poison. But let's get this back on. Yeah, sugar is a hell of a drug. Let's get this back on the boxing talk, man. I don't want to do too much. I want to do too much talking about all that stuff, man. But yeah, man, HBO boxing. I think HBO boxing's dead, man. I think it's completely and utter dead, man. I think that they're going to shut that program down. And yeah, Cisco is like Night Train. It's like wino liquor. It's like wino liquor. Ben Panchinetti said, I can't wait for Pednello to get knocked out this weekend. He ain't getting knocked out this weekend, dog. He gonna win that fight. He might not be bulky, but if he's doping, he's on something. Okay. This is the thing. If you think just because you big don't mean you ain't doping. Okay. So if he's doping, he might still be doping. You know what I mean? Will Dog, that Thunderbird. Yeah, dog, that Thunderbird, man. Oh my God. Thunderbird, Night Train, Wild Irish Rose. That's that wino shit, dog. That's that wino. That's when the 70s are like wino. He said, Fannon, I got 5 on it, man. I don't bet. But if you got 5 on, I'm with you. Like I said, man, I ain't, hey, man. HBO fell off the map. Yeah, man. I'm thinking they're shutting it down, man. I think they're shutting it down, man. Jamal hop in the ring. Hope Jamal hop in the ring, man. That would be cool. But on HBO, I won't see it, man. They'll stop him from jumping in there, I think. In the spirit of Badu Jack. What's this? Man, I ain't even heard Badu Jack's name in a minute, man. What's he about to do? GGG and Canelo will be a draw. Oh, I wouldn't doubt it. It has the makings of a draw, dude. It has the makings of a draw. Jose Graneo said it's done, bro. Yeah, they're done, man. When they say that they're putting their back of their program on Jaime Munguia and TD Samuels 1.5 half pint on yeah, dude, they have no fighters. They have no fighters, man. They are not invested in sports, man. I'm wondering now, man, if either Peter Nelson is the worst. I think Peter Nelson, if he intended to build HBO boxing, let's put it this way. If his intention was to build HBO boxing, he is the worst boxing executive in the history of television. Absolutely. Who do you think Canelo fights next? Will it be a triple? Probably a trilogy. He should bounce though, man. I mean, God, dog, they gonna offer. If Canelo bounces, they gonna pay a lot of money to Canelo to bounce, dog. No joke. They gonna pay him a lot of money to bounce, man. What's good, Reef the Watcher, man? How you feeling, man? I subscribe and I hit the bell icon, dog. And any of you guys get sick of cats in the comment section hating on LWBC and the conversations going on, man, subscribe to Reef the Watcher because he can be your private vent. I'm telling you, man, he vents for me. I appreciate it, man, because I can't do the videos like that. As number one, dog, I would be cussing, and somehow Reef the Watcher managed to do without ever cussing, man. But Reef the Watcher is definitely, man, one of my favorite channels on YouTube, man. That dude basically, dog, motherfucker says exactly what I think about these cats and just be coming around hating on cats, man. And support Reef the Watcher, man. Support, if you LDBC, if you're in the LDBC, you need to support Reef the Watcher. Please support Reef the Watcher, man. Some cats do it, it's hard to resist. What's good? It's hard to resist these cats that be getting on you, talking bad about you when you're in the comment section. Like I went back and forth with this guy yesterday. I shouldn't even have done it. Motherfucker gets on my channel because I said something, and I know your bitch ass is listening, so I'll talk to you for about 2 seconds. Man, dude gets on my channel, right? Because I said I didn't remember that. This is the kind of people you got to deal with. I did not remember that Felix Diaz had fought Lamont Peterson. I didn't remember. I saw the fight. I didn't remember it. This was 3 years ago. It was a non-title fight, and I didn't remember. Because honestly, dude, at the time, who was Felix Diaz? I remember the fight, but I was like, who's this dude, Felix Diaz? And I remember people thinking that Lamont Peterson lost the fight. And I was like, man, I never listen to stuff like that. When somebody says that somebody lost a fight when they don't get the decision, dude, unless it's Sweet Pea versus De La Hoya, where I don't think that there's any reason for the decision to have gone that way, man, that shit is in one ear and out the other, especially on a non-title fight that happened 5 dang years ago. But this dude is on my page calling me a liar. Just admit you never watched the fight. I'm like, God, just admit that I have not seen. There's plenty of fights I have not seen, dog. There's hundreds and thousands of fights I've not seen. Why would I lie about that? But you have to deal with these cats on a regular basis if you want to actually be in your comment section talking to people. And I love my comment section, man. I love when y'all leave messages. When you email me, I see a bunch. I can't always respond. I try to respond as much as I can, man, with work. But even if I got to get into a bit later, I like it. But Reef the Watcher just like, dog, systematically be ripping these dudes. And I think it's important, man. Please subscribe to that dude. Let us raise up his subscriber base, man, so that he knows the cats can relate to what's going on. Because he's talking to LDBC cats, man. That's like an internal LDBC newsletter. That's the way that I think about it. Dana Jones was good. He said, Fannon, HBO is heavily invested in the Game of Thrones, and that's new spinoff show that's coming out next year. No extra money for boxing. Heard this is G's last fight under the HBO contract. Yeah, Dana Jones, and also it might very well be Canelo's last fight with him, because that's what Oscar De La Hoya said. Oscar De La Hoya saying it might be his last one, man. General Squirrels that don't let him get to you for now. Nah, they don't, but I'll go at him a little bit. And then I'll just delete. Then I guess I got to the point where I used to just delete comment. I'll see it, I wouldn't read it, and I delete. But now I'm like, I'll talk about it a little bit, man, because sometimes, when you have a guy that you really disagree with on one subject, they might snap on you on another subject, but they just don't realize that eventually you'll talk about so many things in boxing that you'll wind up agreeing on a lot of stuff. But with most boxing fans, and this is my opinion. Oh, what did Fishnet say? Fishnet said that he's going to try to break out. That it doesn't seem like HBO is serious about boxing. So he said he's going to Facebook streaming, and they may do that, man. I don't know what they're going to do. They're going to have to find something to try to get that big payday, because they see everybody else got big paydays, and Oscar De La Hoya is stuck over there in HBO when HBO has a declining budget and everything is on pay-per-view. And I don't really even know if I believe Canelo's pay-per-view numbers, to tell you the truth. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's good. Fight World, good team. Appreciate that, man. Because I'm telling you, dude is a real good dude, man. And it's like certain channels got unique vibes, man. And Reef the Watcher, and by the way, Reef the Watcher is a monster on that boxing trivia too. Oh, anyway, so yeah, that's what it is. But yeah, man. Anyway, man, goodbye. 140 Lawrence Street said HBO has no great payout if it's not a pay-per-view event, and even still HBO has more great fighters or fights due to the whack-ass mafia the boxing commission is trying to be on F9. Has no more great. Yeah, they're also terribly arrogant, man. They're also terribly arrogant, man. Jim Lampe was terribly arrogant, saying that, look, man, we don't even have to go look. We decide who the stars are. They thought that, man. I respect the fact, Fannon, separates your opinion from fact. I respect the fact, Fannon, separates your opinion from fact. Hey, man, I try to. I hope you're saying that. I hope you're not telling me to do that. I try to do that, but I have an opinion. This is an opinion channel. This is what I think. I'm telling you what I think. And if I'm wrong, I can't be wrong about the fact that that's what I think. This is my opinion. Okay? It's my opinion. And everybody has opinions. Like, oh, okay. But if all you want is facts, like, oh, all I care about is facts. Just tell me facts. Fuck no. You'll go read BoxRec. Go up and down BoxRec, read BoxRec all day. Okay? Read that. Hey, Fannon, I heard Fight World TV. Fannon, I heard you was going hard on my guy, Bud Crawford. No, I never said a negative word about Bud Crawford. Ever. Never, ever, 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 ever have I ever said anything bad about Terrence Crawford. I think Terrence Crawford is the number one pound-for-pound fighter in the world. I never went hard on him. What I went hard on was people who keep trying to compare resumes of guys that were fighting in 135 to guys that were fighting in 147. That's what I'm saying. You can't do it. And I'll say it again. You can't do it. You can't say, because people be trying to, see here, you got to understand this. Just like on this conversation, I was talking about Reef the Watcher. People are trying to tear at Errol. See, these people like to see people beef. Love to see people beef. So if you like Errol Spence, then, oh, we'll use Terrence Crawford to tear at Errol Spence. If you really like Terrence Crawford, then they use Vasyl Lomachenko to tear Terrence Crawford, right? Because it's no real conversation going on about what they think. It's just that they don't want to agree with shit. They just don't want to agree with other people think, want to argue, right? And you can never agree with them. So I was watching something where I heard somebody going through Errol Spence Jr.'s resume and Terrence Crawford's resume. And they laid out a bunch of people that were 135-pound fighters. They were literally having a conversation comparing Ricky Burns to Kell Brook. And I'm like, dude, I don't care how many titles Ricky Burns won, how many BBOC, BBFC titles he won, how many super featherweight titles and lightweight titles Ricky Burns won. He's a super featherweight / he went from super featherweight to 135 pounds, and I think Ricky Burns fought in Dungo at 140 pounds. That's all he is. He's not, you can't compare that to Kell Brook. Kell Brook is a welterweight, and size matters. So if you're going to look at Errol Spence's resume, you got to and say, okay, what has Errol, because they're actually going to fight. If they fight, if everybody gets their wishes, they're going to fight each other. So, but if you want to compare what they've done, compare what they've done at welterweight. Don't compare what Terrence Crawford did at lightweight or even 140 pounds to what a guy did, a guy that's got, 14 less fights than he does, who's fighting at welterweight. You have guys like Chris Van Hearden, right? So they'll say, for example, who is a better win, Ricky Burns or Chris Van Hearden? Well, if you look at the resume of Chris Van Hearden and Ricky Burns, you compare those two, you might say, oh, well, Ricky Burns had a championship, right? And Chris Van Hearden never did. He's never fought top 10 guys. He's only never had a win over a top 10 guy. Ricky Burns has had wins over top 10 guys. But here's the problem with that. Chris Van Hearden is almost 6 feet tall, and he weighs in at 159 pounds, and Ricky Burns comes up to my waist, and he started at featherweight. You can't compare those two. What would happen if you put the two in a ring together? You think that, does anybody really think that Ricky Burns can beat Chris Van Hearden? Chris Van Hearden will beat the brakes off that dude. You know what I mean? So that's where I was. I wasn't tearing Bud down. I'm just saying, I'm giving you my opinion. Terrence Crawford has a win at 147 against Jeff Hearn. As far as 140 pounds, 47 pounds, that is it. That's where it starts and that's where it ends. If you like his style and all that, then say, hey, I think I can beat him because I like his style. I think he moves well. I think Are you talking about Algieri? I could talk about Algieri too. I could easily, I'm telling you, man, Cats pulled out Yuriokis Gamboa, right? So say Yuriokis Gamboa is a very good win, and I think he is on Terrence Crawford's resume. But dude, is you really think Yuriokis Gamboa is beating Chris Algieri? I know Chris Algieri is a whack name. Like, that's a whack name, right? Who's Chris? He's synonymous for getting knocked down 6 times against Manny Pacquiao. He got a win that some people, disagree with over Ruslan Provodnikov. But this is a dude that beat Ruslan Provodnikov. You think if somebody can beat Ruslan Provodnikov is going to have a problem with Yuriokis Gamboa? Come on, man. That's all I'm saying, man. I'm not trying to diss Terrence Crawford at all, man. I'm just saying. And I'll say the same thing if I did a comparison between Lomachenko and Terrence Crawford. Lomachenko's got a great resume at 126. Well, I'll just say this. He's won titles at 126, 130, and 135 pounds, man. The dude's got 12 fights, and he's got belts in 3 different divisions. That's a very, very solid resume. Do I think that he is going to beat Terrence Crawford if he moved to 140, or Mikey Gers? Would he beat Regis Porgray at 140? Fannon, Hearn versus Lamont Peterson. I give the advantage to Lamont Peterson. Lamont Peterson going to beat him, man. Because come on, man. Jeff Hearn won one fight. One good fight, and he had a hard time with, what's the guy's name? It wasn't Lo Greco. What was the guy's name that he beat? That he fought in between Pacquiao and come on, man. I like Jeff Hearn, but that's Jeff Hearn. Errol can discredit T-Bud like all his wins are in one weight class. Errol can discredit Terrence Bud like that. All his wins are in one weight class. I'm not sure what you mean that, but if you're saying it's in one weight class, but here's the thing, man, we're not talking about pound for pound. You know what I mean? We're not talking about pound for pound. That's where I see the confusion. That's where I see the debate going, where I have an issue with the debate. I don't care about pound for pound when 2 people are fighting. It means nothing. It means nothing. And I know people say, skills pay the bill. Yeah, skills pay the bill up into a point. Up into a point. Skills pay the bills. But once you get to a certain size deficit, all the skills in the world ain't going to help you if the size difference gets too big. I'm telling you, all the skill in the world is not going to help you if the size and strength difference gets too big. And I do not believe the case that's the case with Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence. I don't believe that the size disadvantage is so big that it makes no difference. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, dude, just don't bring up these guys that he fought about Terrence Crawford when Errol Spence went, dude, none of those guys are going to get out of the 5th round with Errol Spence, man. None of them get out of the 5th round, man. Those guys are dog meat if they fight him. Most of those dudes dog meat if they fight Danny Garcia. Kyler Child said, yo, Fannon, I heard on Trill Boxing Talk that Aaron made an offer to Porter. Do you think that it was for unification fight with Bud? I don't know. I doubt if it's for a unification fight, though. It's probably to fight on. They're probably trying to get him to ESPN. They need fighters. It'll probably be built for a couple fights away. Because, but Shawn Porter ain't going to take that fight right away either. Shawn Porter ain't going to do that. He wouldn't. If he ain't going to do it with Errol Spence Jr., he's not going to do that with Terrence Crawford either. He's not going to jump right in and take that fight. He's going to try to milk it. He's going to try to get paid. I won't try to put a negative connotation on it, but he's going to try to get paid, man. That's what I would think, because that's what he sounds like, talking about fighting once a year. Let me see. Smoke for 9. If what came out of Spence was said by AJ, you would have shitstorm on AJ. So be fair with Crawford. If you all feel that Crawford hasn't faced anyone good, then why are you top guys? First of all, man, Smoke Money, man, there is more untrue shit in there than, I mean, shit, where do I start? If what came out of Spence's was said by AJ, you would have a shitstorm. What? What came out of his mouth that I would have a shitstorm with? What? I mean, if you're saying that what came out of Spence's mouth, saying, look, that he's trying to fight Shawn Porter, and he was calling for a unification fight with Shawn Porter. He's calling for a unification fight with Shawn Porter. I don't have any issue with that. Anthony Joshua called for a unification fight with Joseph Parker. I was fine with that. I never had any issue whatsoever with Anthony Joshua fighting Joseph Parker. I thought that was a good fight. I'm glad that it happened. I was cool with it because Anthony Joshua was unifying with the WBA, the IBF, and the WBO. That is a fight that I'm glad that happened. I was happy that it happened. I didn't have any beef with Anthony Joshua when he did that. I had beef when he turned down $50 million to not fight Deontay Wilder. That's my problem because he didn't unify. He was one step away, one fight away from having an undisputed heavyweight championship of the world. And Anthony Joshua played prima donna and didn't take the fight. If Errol Spence Jr. did the same thing, I would be on Errol Spence Jr. If Errol Spence Jr. was the IBF, the WBC, and the WBA champion, and he refused to fight Terrence Crawford, and Terrence Crawford offered him $80 million guaranteed to fight, and he didn't take it, I would be calling Errol Spence every kind of bitch, every kind of it. But that's not the fact. That's not the case. What Errol Spence Jr. said was, look, you guys are all talking about Terrence Crawford. I want Shawn Porter. I want Keith Thurman. That's who I want. That's who I've been calling out. That's nothing but consistency out of Errol Spence. So when AJ did say that, I had no issue with it. Now to the second part. If you feel Crawford hasn't faced anybody good, I didn't say that he didn't face anybody good. He has fought people that are good. He fought several people that are good. I'm just saying you can't compare it to you cannot do a person-for-person comparison with Errol Spence's competition because the guys were small. That's it. Yuri Gamboa is a good fighter. He's just a 135-pound fighter. Ricky Burns is a good fighter. He's 135, 120. He's 130, 135-pound fighter. Julius Ndungo is a 140-pound fighter. Felix Diaz is a 140-pound fighter. If you look at who Errol Spence Jr. fought, Chris Van Houten is a 160-pound fighter. Kell Brook is a 147, 154-pound fighter. The no-name guys that are on Errol Spence's records were weighing in at 156, 157 pounds. The only beef that, 148, 149, 151, 156. Dude, Errol Spence Jr., quiet as kept for the first 10 fights of his career, was fighting at the 154-pound division and moved down to 147. He's not, I mean, a lot of cats do that. There's people that fight at weight classes and they come down. Who else did that? Guillermo Rigondeaux did that. He's fighting bigger guys. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that Terrence Crawford didn't beat anybody good. Terrence Crawford, I said, is my number one pound-for-pound fighter. But pound for pound is theoretical. It's hypothetical. He's fought better. Terrence Crawford has fought much better competition than Samuel Dubois. Daniel Dubois. But Daniel Dubois will knock his head clear over the ropes into the fifth row. Skills ain't going to keep him from beating that dude. He's too big. So what I'm saying is, look, when you guys are talking about who Terrence Crawford is a welterweight. He's a welterweight champion. But he has not proven himself at welterweight. He hasn't. He fought Jeff Hearn. He's had one welterweight fight, and he beat a marginal champion. He knocked him out. He did what he's supposed to do. Errol Spence Jr. beat Carlos Ocampo. He knocked him out in the first row, round. The dude probably didn't never deserve the fight. He's not anybody that I'm going to say, well, he beat Carlos Ocampo. Shit, Carlos Ocampo never fought outside of Tijuana before. So that's what I'm saying, man. So I know sometimes these are fine lines to draw, but I'm drawing the lines, dude. I'm not hating on Terrence Crawford, dude. All I'm saying, dude. All I'm saying. King, does anybody catch what Arrow wear when Arrow wear red, white, and blue? He goes the distance and fights. Oh, he only went the distance, what, twice or something like that? Name 2 Hall of Fame fighters that were in their prime against Floyd, excluding Ricky Hatton. Why would you exclude Ricky Hatton from that? Why would you exclude him from that? Ricky Hatton counts, man. You could argue that Manny Pacquiao was in his prime. He wasn't far out of his prime. Manny Pacquiao was, he had lost, but just because you lost don't mean you're in your prime. He wasn't an old fighter. He wasn't worn. He wasn't done. I would give Manny Pacquiao that. Also, shit. I'll tell you, shit. He beat Jose Luis Castillo in his prime. He beat Jose Luis Castillo. He beat Diego Corrales in his prime. Both those dudes are Hall of Fame fighters, man. Both those guys are going to be in there, man. Yeah, Peter Freshkabar, Diego Corrales, and Horror. Yeah. What's going on? Troll Hunter, report for duty. Gregory Wyatt. What's good, man? Coach John Roberts. What's good? That's Ticket. What's Ticket? Floyd was older than with Pac-Man. Yeah, it don't matter. But he was. But whatever, man. Said check my subs. What's check my subs? Text. What? Ticket TV flexing. Ticket TV say check my subs. I got a lot of them. Yeah, he does, dog. Will Sugar for 9. Why all PBC call out Pac-Man but not Crawford? Why does all PBC call out Pac-Man but not Bud Crawford? I don't know, man. I don't think Bud Crawford believes that he's going to fight him. I don't think he don't want to fight him. Pac-Man don't want to fight Terrence Crawford. He don't want to fight him. He ain't going to win. Terrence Crawford's going to whoop the tar shit out of Manny Pacquiao, and Manny Pacquiao knows it. Freddie Roach knows it, and he don't want the fight. Terrence Crawford is probably like, look, man, I've been promising the fight. I want the fight. I'm not going to get the fight. So, he decides not to do it. Man, Terrence Crawford's a beast. Okay? Terrence Crawford's a beast, man. And dudes his size, no, man, he's going to be tough, man, but ain't nobody perfect, and everybody's got their limitations, man. Melvin Jackson, what's good, man? He said Canelo. What about Canelo? Castillo lost the first fight with Diego, won the second. Yeah, they're good fights, man. Those are some hella fights. Shit, I can't even, man, dude, get off my back. I can't even remember what's the Cuban's name, dude, that I thought was better than both those guys. What is his name, man? The Cuban dude was on Rigondeaux's. He's in Rigondeaux's corner sometimes. Dude was nice, man. Lightweight, Cuban lightweight, man. Fought at super featherweight lightweight around the same time, dude. I thought that dude was the best of all them cats. Yep, Joel Casamayor, man. Joel Casamayor. Oh, he said, yeah, Ticket be showing up. What's good, Fanano's telling people that's the real Ticket. Yeah, man, I don't know why y'all don't think Ticket be on the show. Hey, man, Ticket's the man, man. Subscribe to Ticket TV, man. Subscribe to Ticket TV. Oh, by the way, in the true liking of Ticket TV, look, it's 234 people in the building. They got 128 likes. Can we get the likes up over 200? Yes, sir. Yeah. Yeah, Joe Casamayor is a beast, man. I loved his fighting style. Jalen Smith, QB, said, and Earl is saying December, but they don't want that either. He has a son who boxes. That's what's up. Yearn Dorticos might make a comeback. He's a real nice cruiserweight Cuban fighter. Yeah, I like Dorticos. Man, I thought that fight with Dorticos and Gassiev, was it Gassiev he fought? Man, I thought that fight was a lot closer than them cats were acting like that was, man. But he needed to sit down on his punches a little bit more. Yes, sir. Let's get him up over 200, please. Let's get over the 200 likes, man. Yeah. Like on the way in. That's what's up. Yeah. Ticket doesn't have a wrench. That's why. Oh, Ticket gets a wrench. Hey, Ticket, you want a wrench? I'm sorry. I don't know why. I don't have a Ticket have a wrench. There you go, Ticket. Yes, sir. Damn, Ticket. I didn't know you were that fucking tall, man. God, dog. Dude, how tall are you, man? That's the quiz. The real Ticket don't know how tall Ticket is. Shit. I don't know why I didn't catch that, man. God, dog. I was like, if you put something on, I think you were cooking or something. I was like, that nigga's head is way up at like the third shelf of that motherfucker, dude. I was like, what? How the hell tall is this dude? I'm jealous of tall people, dog. I wanted to be 7 feet tall so bad. Had never had a chance, dog. Because I like the big men in basketball. Fannon, size up, Easter versus Lomachenko. Good fight, man. A better fight than damn 6'9". Yeah, it's a tall. Lomachenko versus Robert Easter. I think Robert Easter would have a better fight with Lomachenko than he did Mikey Garcia because of the power issue. And but you know, I would probably still. What is this? But I would still give the advantage to Lomachenko, man. I'm happy that he got his payday, man. He got his shot. Really happy that he got his shot, dog. Nah, man, I ain't fucking shoot. Ron Finkel, man, much love in the super chat. He said, working, but still listening for Nine International. I appreciate you, man. Coming to the channel. Yes, sir. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Oh, man, Cats don't know. Cats don't know. Appreciate you, man. Damn, I'm only 5'9". I wish I was 6 feet. Yeah, you know, everybody wants something else, man. You know what I mean? Everybody wants somebody. Everybody wants something they ain't got. You know what I mean? Ticket, my apologies, bro. I thought you had a capital T. I've seen fake tickets out there before. Yeah, they do it. Melvin Jackson said, yeah, Fannon, HBO going downhill, huh? Yeah, man, I think they're going to shut it down, man. Fannon, is the WBC trying to force Porter to fight Ugas? I don't know, man. I don't know what they're doing with Ugas, man. I think Ugas is getting set up nice, though, because he's in position for both the IBF and he's in position for the WBC. So Ugas is going to get a shot, man. I think his management, whoever's man, I wouldn't be surprised if his management was like, what's that guy's name, man? What's the guy that Rigondeaux was thinking about? People that he said that he was in negotiations to sign with that manager, Louis DeCubas. I wouldn't be surprised if he was with if he was fucking with Louis DeCubas, and Louis DeCubas was putting him in some nice spots to get some shots, man, make some good paydays. I'm happy that he's not getting blackballed. That's unusual for a Cuban that is that talented. All those Cuban fighters need to fight for the PBC. Cuban fighters ain't fighting for the PBC or out of their damn mind. I'm telling you, because he come away, man. Hey, they look. They all need to sign, dog, because those cats are getting fights over there. These dudes ain't starving over there. Those cats ain't starving over there in the PBC. Once your boy got over there, how many fights has Luis Ortiz had? Luis Ortiz, I think he's had 3 fights on HBO. I think he's had 3 fights on between Fox and HBO in the last year since he signed with the PBC. But he was going to but before he did it, dog, he was having crap fights, having to fight 2 times in the same. Dude fought back to back within like 3 weeks, messing with matchroom boxing. Fannon, is Pac-Man fighting Mikey or Khan next? I would probably believe he'd fight Amir Khan next, man. I'm a Manny Pacquiao fan. I like Manny Pacquiao. I think Manny Pacquiao is a great fighter. Definitely a Hall of Famer, man. He'll definitely put some work on people still. I just don't like his business decisions, man. There's just something really funny about him. Something real funny about who he chooses to do business with. And I just don't like it, you know? So I don't see him fighting Mikey. I'll see him fight Amir Khan because Amir Khan, he can knock out Amir Khan, man. Gamboa, what's going on? D-Lo for saying Gamboa just made bad career decisions. He was a good, even with his flaws. Yeah, he did. He made bad decisions like not practicing, not working out, spending a bunch of money. You Oh, it said my brother is tall. Tall men catch a lot of hate. Yeah, jealousy make people hate on you. Most cats that are real tall have a lot of people that are jealous of them. Because everybody hates, because who likes looking up at somebody and being made to feel small? You know? You feel like nobody likes feeling frail. And then they give cats like nobody likes. That's why a lot of little dudes are some of the biggest assholes you'll ever meet. Because every ad look up at everybody. Like walking around all the time, always having to have people, dip their chin down to look at you. I gotta imagine that would be frustrating. There's a lot of ego with size in men. D-Lo 404 Boxing Moore said Pacquiao is not too smart business-wise. Floyd told a man to do his own things years ago. Yep. Fight game. Then for some odd reason, fuck with 50 Cent. I mean, 50 Cent probably threw him some money, talked some game, threw some chicks at him, all that stuff, partied with him in New York and did all that shit. And hey, now sign this, Fight game said, fact, short guys are different. Oh, said, oh yeah, PK Boxing MMA's Hunter. I'm 6'7". I get a lot of salty looks. Yeah, man, cats be jealous of big dudes, man. Straight up jealous, man, and don't like the feeling of being small. Being small sucks, man. I mean, feeling like that, I don't like that. I mean, I met Shaq, and I was like, God dang. What's going on, Sharkskin 7A said, Fannon Don, stay thorough, bro. Same salute. I watch every day. I appreciate you, man. We trying to work, trying to grow it, man. We got 225 people in the building. I got 148 likes, man. Let's try to get the likes up. I have no dislikes today. That's amazing, man. I said, don't mind me, no mind, fam. I'm a little nigga. It is what it is. Hey, man, I ain't got no problem with that. Man, I ain't trying to disrespect. I'm just trying to tell you. That's been my experience. There's some wild dudes that are little dudes. Like, I hate fighting them. I got to fight with little dudes. I hate that. I don't like that. They worry me. Little dudes. He said, I'm 5, but you're not a little dude, D-Lo. At 5'9", you're not a little dude. You're not a little dude, man. 5'8" ain't even a little dude. You ain't no little dude. Little dudes are like 5'4", 5'5". That 5'8" ain't a little dude. 5'5", you just a little bit below average height. You don't have you're not looking up at your girlfriend. You know what I mean? Like at 5'8", you're still taller than most women. Dale. Hey, Delo, at 5'9", you're still taller than most women. I'm talking about dudes be like 5'1", 5'2", 5'3", 5'4", shit like that. LT Green say I'm 5'6". Now, 5'6", you a little bit on the short side, man. KV, the thing is a 6'8", non-athletic motherfucker. Oh, dog, that's tough. That's tough. Everybody think you can dunk, man. And you can't. Not you. But anyway, man, I don't know, man. It's just me talking. Hey, thanks for the dislike, man. As somebody jump out there, I said somebody didn't dislike me. They had to get it. I done had women taller than me. LT Green, yeah. You know what, LT Green? I've wanted to have women taller than me. I could never get the date. I could never get date with women taller than me, and I could never get the date with women who are like coal black. For some reason, shit never worked, man. I was like, God, dog, no success. None. And I'm talking about the super black ones. Like, crystal, like the color of this, like the color around the picture on this screen. Never been able to never got no love for them chicks. And they some of the baddest chicks on the planet. Fannon, would you be mad if Porter signed with Eddie and fought? Nah, I mean, I wouldn't be mad. I mean, I'm already mad. Now, if he's not fighting Errol Spence Jr., what difference does it make? If he's not going to fight Errol Spence Jr. and unify right away, or unify Keith Thurman, if he could fight with Keith Thurman in December or whatever, January, if they announced that they were going to do that, I don't have any issue with a cat doing unification fights. If he goes over to Eddie Hearn, he's not trying to unify with anybody. He's trying to ride that belt out. That's what he's trying to do. Right? He's doing a Jaime Munguia at 154. Because damn well Jaime Munguia ain't fighting nobody else for a belt at 154. He said, I can't get those Afro consciousnesses either. Nah, I don't know what that is, dog. I mean, now maybe. I've been married for a long time, so I ain't tried. But said Wordplay, my wife is 5'11". Oh man, that's perfect height. Perfect height. Well, you know what it is, man. Battle rivals, and I'm trying not to throw hate on all tall people, but a lot of people telling me that short men are beating up tall men all the time. That's not true. Most tall people don't have to fight. Yeah, most big dudes you're not gonna fight. And I always gotta, when somebody tells me that they're like somebody like 5'6", talking about they whooping 6'5" dude, 6'5", 290-pound dudes. I've been in wrestling matches with dudes that big, dog. Trust me, man, that shit is not fun. I've managed to hold them off. Because I'm a big dude. But like size-wise, I'm a pretty big guy. Big enough where you're just not gonna roll through me if you're not just big, big, big. But guys who are like 6, telling me that you're gonna run up on a Indomitian Sue and you just throwing them around. Damn, I could be. And he said, Fannon, I've had women taller than me and real dark. Eat your heart out. That's what's cool about being 5'6". Yeah. Yeah, Hackabins. I'm jealous, dog. Real jealous. He said, no 5'6" dude beating 6'7" guy. It's tough. How tall am I? I'm 6'2". 6'2". So I've been around little guys, and the first thing is you get stabbed by the 5'3", 5'5" guys are not gonna play with you. They're gonna get a hold of you and bite. I mean, them dudes will bite you, and they should. Because them little dudes ain't just gonna allow you to do whatever. Them cats get serious. Serious. Dang, I'm jealous, man. I wanted to date this chick who was like 6'7". I was like, I'd like that. No play. I got no play. She's ridiculously fine too. She might have been closer to 6'4", 6'5", but whatever she was noticeably taller than me. I'm 5'11" with high insoles. I'm 5'11". Yeah, that's what's up, man. So anyway, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. I love this conversation, though. Let's back to the boxing. Kevin Drunham, do you think Al Heyman has somehow enables the behavior? Do you think Al Heyman somehow enables the behavior of these fighters? Yeah, absolutely. His setup enables it because he's not a promoter. Those guys have the decision to make their own decisions. He advises them and he manages them. But ultimately, an advisor and a manager works for the boxer. He also owns a platform that he allows the people to fight on. But that is how he built his name. That's how he built his reputation, by being somebody that's trustworthy and is looking out for the best interests of his fighters. And as far as like a boxing business, man, that seems simple to the normal person, but from what I understand of that environment, that's highly exceptional because these guys are used to owning people. That's why they call it a stable. They own the fighters. A lot of fighters are not, are not typically highly educated, have gone to graduate school, have been in, understand how to read contracts, understand how to read financial spreadsheets, know the insides and the outsides of how money is earned in a fight. You know what I mean? That's not something that a 22-year-old kid who spent his whole life in a boxing gym is going to be able to do. And they're easily taken advantage of. Not just are they taken advantage of, they're easily taken advantage of. And when he won't do that, and he educates on somebody on how not to be taken advantage of, hey man, the flip side of that is that they now know their worth. They know that they're free to make these decisions. They're free to act in their own self-interest. And when they act in their own self-interest, you will see these things happen. And that's just part of the game. It's not going to get rid of ducking. You know what I mean? But what it should do is it allows the boxers to eat and the boxers to get a more fair percentage of what it is that they earn. But what does that do for the boxing fan is the flip side of that. The flip side of that is, for me, I don't get to see the fights I want to see. If I didn't care about fighters or whatever at all, I'm like, well, I don't care. I just want to see these guys fight. I just want to see all these guys fight. There should just be one promoter. They all work for him, and he gets paid on every fight. He gets half the money for every fight, so they never get a lot of money. That keeps them hungry like dogs. So they have to keep fighting each other, and they put them in every week. I get to see him fight 10 times, 15 times a year. And when they're 24 years old, they'll be brain dead and done. But what do I care? I've got to see them fight a bunch of times, So that's not my take on it, but that's just the, that's the extreme on both sides. If a boxing promoter owns everybody and gets more money and keeps the fighters starving, then you're going to see better. You're going to see more fights more often because the promoter's not taking a punch. And the more unscrupulous the promoter is, right, including networks, bunch them in there, the managers too, the more unscrupulous they are, the more you're going to get fights that you might want to see because you're paying for it, right? But on the other side of it is if you allow fighters and you pay them a lot of money, right, and they get to pick who they fight, when they fight, you'll hear things like Kenny Porter saying we're only going to fight once a year, which means you're only going to get, so he's saying he basically wants $15 million for 5 fights. Yeah, man, my goal is to make $15 million. I never have to spend another dime, and I'm going to do it over 5 fights. And I'm going to do it over 5 years. I'm going to fight once a year. I want $3 million a year. I'm going to fight once a year. And the first 3, one's going to be a mandatory. And if you play with one's going to be a mandatory. The volunteers are going to be people that I can beat, and I'm going to walk out on you. So it's like, it's a catch-22, and it's going to be tough to strike that balance. But I think that the biggest thing that could strike that is getting rid of these damn sanctioning bodies. The sanctioning body is the biggest problem of them all because they enable this garbage by having all these fake titles and fake rankings where people can say they're a champion when they're not a champion. Quiet as kept, there is only one, shout out to my man Corley Boxing, there is only one champion in all of boxing right now. One. Right? If you use the same definition of champion in boxing that you use in the NFL, how many NFL champions are there? There's one. Nobody cares who won the AFC championship or who won the NFC championship. They lost. They're not the champion because they didn't win the Super Bowl. Same thing. How many champions are there in baseball? There's one champion, one team. Nobody cares who won the god dog. I'm forgetting the divisions in baseball. National League and who won the American League. They only care about who won the World Series. Same thing for basketball. Nobody cares who won. Nobody cares who won the Eastern Conference and who won the Western Conference. They care about who won the WNBA, who won the NBA Finals. That's it. But here you got Shawn Porter, who's the Eastern Conference Atlantic Division champion. It's like Shawn Porter's talking about, I want $3 million to fight. I'm the Atlantic Conference champion. You know what I mean? I'm the champion and Errol Spence is a Central Division champion. They never get past the quarterfinals. They never even get to the damn semifinals. That's the problem with it. It's the sanctioning bodies. It's the fact that you have all these. It's like if you have total separate leagues between the Atlantic Conference and the Central Division and the Pacific Division and all that crap, man. That's the biggest problem is the sanctioning bodies, man. Oh, Amon Hunt said, thanks for unblocking me, Fannon. Yeah, no worries, man. And if anybody's ever blocked, just let me know. Just send me to if you got blocked by and you don't think, even if I don't care what it is, if you got blocked, just send me a note and say you got blocked. And say, hey, man, could you unblock me? And I'll unblock you. I have no problem with that, man. You know what I'm saying? So that's my take on it, man. The sanctioning body, the biggest single problem in boxing is the sanctioning bodies. Number one, they're easily manipulated and taken advantage of by promoters. And they enable promoters to set up fights and they enable fighters. They give fighters fake championships. They give promoters the mechanism by which to exploit boxing fans and fighters. And they add confusion to the game. It's like this whole, even the concept of a belt is like, oh, I don't even care, man. Who you got this Anthony? You got like Gennady Golovkin. This is the perfect example of this, man. Gennady Golovkin claiming he got 20 major 20 championship defenses and middleweight and is breaking Bernard Hopkins' record. When half of those damn things, over half of them, are for a secondary belt, the WBC regular. When Felix Sturm was the champion. But for somehow, just because people want to say it that way, they're going to give him credit for an extra 12 title defenses. It's just bananas. And that's the sanctioning bodies adding confusion, man. Terrell Bay said that's why Floyd would vacate a belt quick. Wasn't with the sanctioning fees and shit. Yeah, man. I mean, hey, it is what it is, man. I mean, boxing at this point, it is what it is, man. Hopefully it'll change, but I don't see it changing because it's not in anybody's interest other than it's the fight fans don't have a voice to point it out for worth anything because most of the people that are talking about boxing are paid for. Reef the Watcher, it's too much money to be made from the fees. There should be government interventions. It's almost like Carbo and Palermo are operating the IBC again. Absolutely, dude. Chuck Liddell, Tito Ortiz set for Golden. Man, hey, I don't do MMA, man. I don't know enough about that, man. And Golden Boy in MMA is definitely something out of my deal. Politico said belts only have the value due to the fans. No one cares about the WBA regular or IBO. The sanctioning bodies are all crooks, and the fans have to take some responsibility too. Yeah, by speaking out. But how are you going to take responsibility? You take responsibility by speaking out and talking about it and getting more and more people to hear and acknowledge what's going on, man. Because that's why I'm telling you, that's why I rocks with the cats in the LDBC. Not everybody agrees with everybody about everything, but everybody that has a voice uses it. In the comment sections, they use it. In the videos, they use it. In the the live streams, use it. And keep talking about it, man. Keep talking about it. And people outside, all you guys do is negativity. It's just negative. Yeah, it's negative because it sucks. I'm not going to I'm not going to put out a bunch of stuff that's positive about something that sucks. Who is the heavyweight champion of the world? Should be a simple question. It should be simple. It is this guy. Who is the cruiserweight champion? It should be, you should have to say two names at most, and that is a first name and a last name. Alexander Usyk. Who's the cruiserweight champion? Alexander Usyk. Who is the heavyweight champion? I don't know. If you can't say it in one name, then it don't count. Who's the heavyweight champion? You can't answer that. Who's the cruiserweight champion? Alexander Usyk. Who's the light heavyweight champion? You can't answer that. Who's the 168-pound champion? You can't answer that. Who's the 154-pound champion? You can't answer that. Who is the 147-pound champion? You can't answer it. Who's the 140-pound champion? You can't answer it. It was Terrence Crawford, but you can't answer it now. Who's the 135-pound champion? You can't answer that. Who's the 130-pound champion? You can't answer that. Who's the 126-pound champion? You can't answer that. Who's the 122-pound champion? You can't answer that. Who's the 128-pound champion? You can't answer that. 122-pound champion, you can't answer it. 126-pound, can't answer it. 118, can't answer it. You can't even tell you what the weights are below that. That's what I'm saying. Said, the way you're talking makes me miss the way the Irish, Italian mobs are more unifying and keeping the boxing on one champ. That's a better system for fight fans. That's why boxing was better then. I'm telling you, boxing was better. That's why people talk to me about how these guys, everything improves. These guys are such. I don't believe they're better fighters, man. I don't believe that they're better fighters. I don't believe for anything, for nothing that Shawn Porter is going to beat. That Shawn Porter is going to be able to beat Sugar Ray Robinson because Sugar Ray Robinson fought more. He's got much more experience. He fought on a regular basis against people that fought on regular basis. And if they lost, they fought again. These guys fought more professional fights, and these guys have had sparring sessions. It's just not the same. It's not the same. People are not practicing like they practice. These guys are not, it's not like that, man. It's not like it used to be. And I'm not being pie in the sky about it. There are weight classes. A guy that fought at 147, I mean, even look at all this stuff. At 108 something, it might be even smaller than that. Even look at this. Back then, they didn't even have all these weight classes. I mean, dude, these guys don't even have weight classes. I mean, what is this? Adrian Bronner was joking. He's like, man, I'm in the 144-pound division. No, dude, you know what the 144-pound division was before? It was welterweight. You know what the 140-pound division was? It was welterweight. It went from 135 to 147. And anybody that fought at 147, they had guys fighting all the way up to 147. So all these belts cats are talking about, cats that you got guys like you want to count people's weight classes and you want to count like 140. Historically, there was no 140-pound division. You had to go from 135 and immediately jump up and fight guys that are Errol Spence Jr. size. There is no Mikey Garcia wouldn't have had a chance. He would either had to been at 135 or he would have had to fight Errol Spence. Either one. Either one. There wasn't no, I'm going to come down, I'm going to go at 140 about all that crap, man. Anyway, man. Yep, 139, you was a welterweight. Here, 136, you're a welterweight. So if you're 148 pounds, you're a 160 pounder. You got to fight the 160 dudes. But they had same day weigh-ins, which means you don't, on the other side of it is you don't have to fight a guy that's a 175 pounder because he wouldn't make the weight the same day. I mean, it's just, it's kind of crap. There's a lot of stuff that can be fixed with boxing, man. Anyway, it is what it is. Look, man, I appreciate everybody for coming to the chat. Thank you so much. Look, man, we got 204 people in the building. Please hit the like button if you can. I'd love to see if we can get the likes over 200. I appreciate everybody coming into the channel, man. I appreciate it. I'm going to go for just a little bit longer, man. I'm curious how Crawford would have done with old school welterweight rules. I think he'd do well, man. That dude can fight. But see, here's the also thing. Here's the same thing, too. If Terrence Crawford fought in the 1950s, then he would have had the same exposure to all of the things that the fighters in the 1950s had, which means he would have adjusted. He would have had the same fight schedule. He would have had the same preparation. He might have had more amateur fights. He might have had more guys to fight against in local gyms when he was growing up. All of those type of things could have come into play for Terrence Crawford, and he might have been a better fighter because of it. That's like when people talk about Muhammad Ali. Like, look, man, you talking about Muhammad Ali like if he was doing the same things these guys are doing at 100 and doing now, that he would even have been a 6'4", 210-pound guy. Shit, Muhammad Ali might have been 6'4", 225, 230, all muscle with what these dudes are doing. You know what I'm saying? He might have had the power he might have had one punch knockout power doing what Alexander Usyk is, not Alexander. I'll leave Alexander Usyk out of it. Doing what Alexander Povetkin's doing. Put Muhammad Ali on that stuff and see what you get. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have a guy that fast that's that much bigger that doesn't get tired and doesn't get tired all the way into his mid. That dude might have killed some damn body with that much talent on the juice these dudes are on, whether it's illegal juice or it is legal juice. Either way, because quite honestly, some of the stuff that they'd say is legal is still performance enhancing. Some of the stuff that you can get from GMC is performance enhancing, and it's stuff that people didn't have back then. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's tough. It's apples and oranges a lot of time, but skill-wise, it's apples and oranges preparation-wise, but it's also apples and orange supplement experience-wise. You know what I mean? Usyk versus Wilder next, man. Usyk will get killed. Usyk will go badly to sleep. Usyk has to be top 5 pound for pound. I mean, yeah, I could put him there, but I'm so tired of pound for pound, man. Pound for pound is the worst because now you got this conversation comparing these weight classes. It's the worst type of conversation. Alexander Usyk is my number 2 pound for pound. Like, Okay, he can be that high if people want. I don't have him that high. Still got Canelo until proven otherwise. Alex, didn't Muhammad Ali slap some huge football player? Yeah, that's Jim Brown, man. Jim Brown's a Hall of Famer, man. He's probably one of he's widely known as the best football player ever, Jim Brown. Old school fighters fought more with better competition. Boxing has fell off. It has fallen off. Anyway, man, look, man, I know some people want to get on. I'm a little bit over my time. Hey, man, I appreciate everybody coming out, man. Much love in the super chats, everybody that supports. I appreciate it. Too late for 9. I'm telling Corey Lee about what? Oh, did Corey Lee's on the line? Man, Alexander Usyk's juicing. I don't give a shit. Anything that obvious, I'm saying, okay? I don't care. It is my opinion that if anybody is juicing in boxing, that is what it looks like. Okay? Come on, man. I'm not going to sit around and act like ain't nobody juicing in boxing. Okay? Stealing all my viewers for 9. Yeah. Hey, man, everybody got the same viewers, Holmes. Everybody got the same viewers, man. It's a community of people talking boxing, man. It's all good, man. Subscribe to McGregor Boxing Stars, by the way. Povetkin, not Usyk. Smash the like button on the way out. Yes, sir. Come on, I got it, man. I'm just short. I got 189, man. I wanted to get 200. These 200 people came from McGregor. Hey, all jokes aside, I'm suspicious of Usyk as well. I mean, look, man. I'm not gonna. Sorry. Some people I don't know. I don't know about Anthony Joshua. I don't. He just looks big, but he looks slow, right? And he looks slow and he gets tired. You know, I just don't know. That's all I'm saying. I don't know. But him, dog, come on. Come on, man. You got to breathe at some point in time in a boxing match, okay? You have to breathe. You got to go sometime during the fight, dog. You got to stop. That's just not how it worked. Oh, he slimmed down for the Povetkin fight. He'll keep on slimming down too, I hope. Yeah, man, just come on, man. You got to breathe, dog. That's just how that works. I got 4 more. Yeah, come on, man. Let's hit the like, get to 200. I'm begging for the likes, dog. That's crazy, but I'll do it. I like 200 likes, man. Valdicus Fannon is going out there with this one. You got to breathe. I'm telling you, you got to breathe, homie. You got to some point in time, dog. He said Usyk's cardio is serious. Yeah, man, it's unworldly. Let me tell you, man, I watched what was the fight? Alberto Machado, whoever it was that Alberto Machado fought before in his last fight, he fought the same day as Alexander Usyk. And he is 140 pounds. He's 130 pounder. And he had worse endurance than Alexander Usyk. At 130 pounds, this dude weighs 70 pounds less than Alexander Usyk, and he doesn't have anywhere near the endurance that Alexander Usyk does, man. Alexander Usyk is pure muscle veined up. Come on, dog. Come on, man. You know how the fight's going to go. He's going to start losing. The dude's going to lose rounds as soon as he stops punching. Because at a certain point in time, the guy has got to stop. He's got to go, okay. And they try to buy time. It's a 12-round fight, man. Oh, dog, he said if he's on, Usyk is on that, if he dies, he dies, man. Come on, man. I'm just trying to tell you, dog. Ain't too proud to beg for none. No, okay, we good there now, dog. But look, man, hey, man, much love to everybody in the super chat, man. Everybody in the chat, everybody that donates to the channel, man. We really appreciate you supporting the cause, man. And we'll be back tomorrow, and everything's good, man. I know people like Usyk, and it's just my opinion. That's all that is. I ain't going to say, unless I'm like on 95% sure, I won't express my opinion. I don't think I've never said that about Anthony Joshua, just because he might really just be that damn big. You know what I mean? Corey Lee's alarm is ringing off. Sky signal and all that. Yeah, you know. All right, man. But with that, I got to be out, man. Peace.